Hello and welcome to another how-to video. Today we're taking a look at a brand new product from Hikvision, and this is the Solar 4G camera kit. Now there's been a lot of interest in this kit. We finally got one and we're really excited to get this fitted into our DVS car park outside, south facing, and this is the kit. So you can see when you get it delivered, everything you need is inside this box. So first thing, thank you very much for all your subscribes, likes, shares and comments, etc. Please do keep us engaged, it keeps us on our toes, and we really value your feedback and input. So moving on to the most exciting bit, so I'm going to use the tried and tested traditional way of opening a box. So inside the box you get lots of foam padding. So we'll remove the foam padding. You get 3 stainless steel all-round banding, which will go round your lamppost or your pole, which will then fix the camera bracket to it. Again, if these aren't long enough, we only sell them in one size. Other sizes are available in local UK vendors. So if you've got a bigger pole than these, then you can just use ones that you can buy yourself. So camera mounting back plate, so you can see these all-round bands are designed to go through these fitments here. I should have my glasses on, which I don't. So you can see all 3 fit on there, and they go round your fitment, and that will keep that secured against your pole, lamppost, etc. So that is the back plate fitting. Already comes with the studs on there, so it just mounts straight on there and bolts on. So they try to make this as easy as possible. You get one camera with a fly lead that you can connect into your solar panel for the output. You can see there is an SD card slot under there, the most satisfying part. And again, you can see standard Hikvision camera with the fitment on there for the bracket, with a fly lead, and the SIM card is underneath that connector there. So if I just get actually a screwdriver, take this off, so you can see reset button, but also you can see SD card slot and the micro SIM card slot there underneath that waterproof cover. So we have a SIM card which we will be fitting to that shortly, so I'm just going to put this cover back on before I lose it. Okay, so what else do we have in the box? We have the camera bracket itself, and again, individually these parts are really simple to fit. They don't really weigh a lot, very well constructed. This part, once you've put that, secured this to your lamppost or fixture fitting, that goes onto the studs there, lock it down with the provided bolts, and you can see it's starting to come together quite nicely. The camera goes onto this part here and the solar panel on the top. What else have we got? So we've got a bag of bolts and Allen keys in there, which you'll need for final assembly. Some waterproof tape for any of the connectors. A CD, which nobody uses. A manual. They're the bolts, stainless steel bolts, which locate onto that back plate and allow you to secure it with some additional screws. And then you've got your waterproof connector to go between the solar panel itself. So don't lose that, because we don't have any spare. Next part is the solar panel. What I will do is turn the product on its side. You can see it's already packed and pre-assembled effectively. And if I slide this out, there you have it, the solar panel. Be careful not to drop it. Quite a large panel. You can see the width of it there, fills up quite the screen. It's light. I could easily install that, you know, pretty much by myself. It comes pre-mounted on the bracket. So on the reverse, you have the adjustable bracket, which locates onto that bigger bracket with a safety chain. And it is angular, so you can adjust the angle and the rotation of that, because obviously in the UK, when you fit these solar panels, you need to get them as south facing as possible. And we do have an instruction, but you want to angle it up towards the sun, naturally, not the ground, and a south facing panel. On the back, you can see the connectors that connect into this, and then you've got the connectors which I showed you there. So yeah, adjustable bracket, pre-mounted, with your fly lead connectors and your connectors on the back of there, which locate into the camera itself. Again, very light, again, nice and easy. And that's it really. So the next stage for us, gently put that down so we don't break it. And that is it. So the next part of this install will be outside in our car park. So we're going to go and fit this outside onto a lamppost. We're going to leave it there for a day or two. It's really important that, because these ship with less than 10%, so you've got a separate battery pack, but the battery pack ships at less than 10% of its stored charge. So you need to connect it to the solar panel and leave it for 24 to 48 hours outside before you do any real commissioning. The reason being, we need to top that battery up, which will then allow us to configure the camera properly before the battery dies out. And then as the days go by, given the solar output is there, then it should trickle charge the battery. This solution is designed to work autonomously for about 7 days. So if you've got a long period of cloud and rain, or snow like we had over here in the weekend in South Wales, then the camera, when it's fully charged, will give you around 7 days autonomy. It goes into low power mode configuration to allow it to extend that time. Past that, then if you have an extended period of no solar output, then you may find that the product goes offline until the solar output reaches the level where it can charge the battery and it comes back online. So it's always something to be aware of. With solar products, you can never guarantee the solar output, because I can't predict the weather, neither can the Met Office, and we can't make sun either. So you are, with these solar solutions, you do have to be aware. And it's very generic across this type of deployment installation. The solar can be affected, so you have to take that into consideration. But other than that, it should provide a long-term working solution. We'll go and fit it outside, and I'll transfer you over and I'll show you it fitted in situ. Give it a couple of days to charge the battery up, and then we can come back and I can show you the configuration through the 4G side. Really excited about this product. We've had a lot of questions on it. The total weight of this box is probably around 10 kilograms, but again, it all comes in one box, so shipping it to you and then to your customer, taking it to the site, isn't going to be difficult, but it does weigh about 10 kilograms all in. Each part is separate, which allows you to the ease of installation. Bolt one part up, bolt another part up, bolt the other part on, bolt the camera on, connect it up, leave it for a couple of days to charge, and then go and commission it. What you could do, if you're clever enough, is take this product out with the box first. If you want to take it to your customer site fully charged, take it to your customer site, put it in your a private space of your own, let it charge up for a few days, and then take it to site, which will allow you to commission it and then walk away without a return visit. So that's another option as well. So just stay tuned. I'm just going to go and grab the battery pack, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so this is the battery pack. This actually comes in a separate box. You do need both components of this, so on our system it's set up as two separate parts. Because it's a lithium battery, they need to ship as two separate parts effectively. So remember, when you're ordering this, guys, through us, solar panel and the battery are separate parts, and the battery comes in its own box. What you will see is it's a self-contained unit, a waterproof unit, which will actually fit behind the bracketry. So the bracketry itself, so the solar panel has a gap behind it, which is designed for this battery pack to slide in. Very simple installation. So you take the battery pack, once this is installed, slide this in and locate it with the screws that you get in the pack. So it's a self-contained unit. Gently. And again, on the fly lead, you'll see there's where these cables come in, so they connect to the solar panel, then to the battery pack, like so, very simple connection, and then the camera itself connects into this to give it its power. So that's the power supply rechargeable lithium ion pack. It's a 19.6 amp hour battery inside there. Currently we don't have a way to trickle charge this independently of the solar panel, which is a question I get asked quite a lot. It's something we're looking at, and whether Hikvision come up with a solution I don't know, but it is something we're looking at. But everything you get, so the battery must be bought at the same time as the kit. Yeah, and that's it really, but they do come as two separate parts, mainly for the shipping. So we'll go and get these fitted now, so stay tuned and you'll see it fitted in our car park. Okay, so we've actually fitted the unit outside now, up on this lamppost here. So you can see the solar panel itself is facing south to get maximum exposure. So I'm going to turn you around and give you a little walk around. So if I zoom in a little bit, so you can see the all-round banding puts that to the post, and that's using the all-round banding that comes in the box. Again, if your post is a big diameter, feel free to buy some, RS, do a good selection if you want any. You can see the adjustable bracket up there, so it allows you to move and tilt the solar panel to get the required degree. So we put it at like a 45 degree and pointing south. Again, you can use a sun tracker app if you want to really finesse that. You can see the bracket there connects to the base with the bolts that we mentioned. So straight on, you can see the camera itself on the bracket with a full angular adjustment. That's just pointing, towards the gate, but we will adjust that as needed. But you've got the bracket adjustment. It's very simple. Camera clicks onto there, so you can see the battery pack itself does slide in the back. If I stand by here, you can see where the battery pack slides in to behind the solar panel, and you can see where the cable itself. So if I go around this side, you can see the connection on the back of the solar panel into the battery pack itself. It does come with a waterproof tape, so make sure you do waterproof tape it, and we just cable tied it to reduce the the cable being loose. It comes with a safety chain which we've wrapped around it. So solar panel wraps around the safety chain around the main camera bracket in case of any accident, drops, especially when you're installing it, to stop you dropping it. But you can see there, it's a very neat solution. The only thing I'd like to point out, the cable from the back of the camera does come out and into the bracket interface itself there through that hole. Whilst it is waterproof, just be mindful of where you fit this camera. Again, if it is low, somebody could get up and vandalize it, not just the cable but the whole solution itself. So again, we fitted it about sort of 3 meters from the floor, but it depends on what you're trying to achieve as to where you will fit it. So hopefully that gives you a good overview of the solution. So if I go from this side, and you can see there's the solar panel with the camera. So it's actually quite a nice little neat solution. I'm looking forward to getting that online now. So the next trick for me is I'm going to pull my truck up next to this. I'm going to get my laptop and program this, via the comfort of my truck, because the weather is a bit danky here in South Wales. Danky, that's a new word. So I'm going to connect into the camera to my laptop, program the 4G element of it. So from the screen capture recording we'll do, you'll see the programming, see the setup of the 4G, and then we'll be able to actually show you the Hike connector, so you can do Hike Central, Hike Connect, depending on what your application and needs are. So I'm going to transfer you over. That's fully installed now. That's been installed for about 3 days, so we should have a good enough charge to be able to complete the commissioning on this. And then based on the fact that the weather is slowly trying to improve, that will over the next few days build up the charge to give us that 7-day autonomy that we would like. Okay, stay tuned guys. Okay, so you can see I'm in my truck. I'm actually parked next to the camera on that post. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm parked in my truck in the comfort of the warm. I've connected the LAN port of the laptop directly into the LAN port of the camera, and you can see there I've already discovered that camera. So the first step is to activate it. So we're going to go yes, activate it. So put my password in that I would like. I'm also going to say enable Hike Connect at the same time. Type my verification code in. And confirm. Wait for that to activate. And that is now activated. Now, I can set the security parameters. Let's get rid of that. I can set any IP address scheme I like, but let's not forget this camera is not designed to go on the LAN directly because it's got the 4G element with the solar panel. So this is like a remote deployment, so you can match your IP address with your laptop for programming sakes. I don't see many installations where you'd add this on the LAN because then you just use a standard PoE camera. But again, you can match it with your laptop and then you can gain access to the camera. So I'm just going to put that because I've already got something on there. Type this in. Okay, so now I've done that. I'm just going to web browse into the camera itself. The first step we're going to do is set the IP address. So we've already set the IP address. Let's go into Internet Explorer. I prefer Internet Explorer. I find there's more options in Internet Explorer, but again, we do support the plugin list firmware if you want to use any of the other web browsers, Chrome, Mozilla, etc. Edge, they do work, but I find with Internet Explorer, when it's product specific, you get some additional functionality that appears in Internet Explorer compared to using a standard web browser. Now we just got to wait for Internet Explorer to open. Okay, so Internet Explorer is open. You can see I've already fitted a O2 SIM card, data SIM, into this product. And again, if you want a data SIM, let us know. We can pair you up with a partner that can provide the package and the network that you want, so we can handle that also. They don't come with the data SIM, more importantly. So there's my parameters ready. I've got the Internet Explorer open, so I'm just going to log into the product itself. And what we will do is enable the 4G element, and then I can transfer you over to the 4G using HyperConnect. So you can see that's live through the camera now. So that's on the lamppost looking out at our gate. You can see it's a 39% battery. So the battery comes at 10%, like I mentioned previously. Over the last couple of days, it has started to trickle charges, so we're at 39% now. So into configuration, very standard web browser configuration. If you know Hikvision products, then you're not going to struggle with setting this up. So device name, we're going to put solar panel, solar 4G DVS, just to give it an identifier. Power consumption mode, full consumption mode or low consumption mode, and then low power sleep and scheduled sleep. So if you go into help, you can see there what the power consumption mode is. So power consumption mode is image, video quality, and frame rate and other parameters might change in low power mode. Low power sleep, when the power is lower than the threshold of the low power sleep, the device will be in wake up mode. Enter the light storage interface, time to wake up corresponding, etc, etc. So basically, if you leave it as, let's go back to this, full consumption mode, then you'll get the best resolution and frame rate possible, but the battery won't last as long, effectively, to summarize. If you put it in low consumption mode, then it can adjust some of the parameters. You still get it operating, but it drops into low power mode then to keep it running longer. Sleep mode is low power sleep and then scheduled sleep. So if you put it into scheduled sleep, you can actually turn it off during certain hours to prolong the battery life. So if you know you don't need it Monday to Friday 9 to 5 because it's an open trading site and you're not worried about the footage because there's people there, then only use it outside of hours and on a weekend. Then you can enable the scheduled sleep. It'll wake up, and then obviously the battery will be prolonged because you've done the scheduled sleep, because it's not continually working, if that makes sense. And you can set the threshold of that low power sleep then. So the normal is 20%, but it can be adjusted. I'm going to put mine, I want mine 24/7 right now, so I can adjust that later. But again, typically 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, I'll put it into sleep mode, and then outside of hours and weekends, then I'll have it active at the DVS because there's lots of CCTV to cover the area. But for now, we'll leave it as the default full consumption mode and turn these two off and click save. Under maintenance, you've got the upgrade, default, diagnostics, enable auto maintenance, which is the reboot function. So with enable auto maintenance ticked, you can tell the camera to reboot at a certain time. So if you've got a problematic network or you've got an issue and you want it to reboot for some reason, then you can actually schedule that in now. Lots of the products have that in the new firmware. System service, enable EMC protection. By default, it's used. I would suggest you leave that enabled. Security, all the default parameters. Now the one we need to go to is the networks. I've already set the basic network parameters, but this is for the LAN side. DDNS port NAT, so we'll enable UPnP and click save. Now with the wireless dial, I've enabled that. It's disconnected right now. It's basically saying there's no SIM card there. Let's go to dial parameters, put the dial parameters in. So it's dial mode is auto, network mode is auto, phone number, username is O2 web, password mobile.o2.co.uk, no pin code SIM on this one. Phone number and access number is *99 hash. Click save. I don't remember the phone number off this, so I'm going to have to go and get that off a different page. So I'll go and get the phone number of this and be right back, but that's actually saved in there. Dial plan 24/7. I want it to be dial out 24/7 when the camera is active. Allow list to enable SMS alarm, so it can actually tell you if I enable SMS alarm. Click add, and you can select these events. So again, put your phone number in there. So +44. That's not my number, by the way. Click save. Save on that. Auxiliary function there. So really we need to go and get the number for this. So give me 2 seconds and I'll get the mobile number for this. Okay, so I found the issue. The SIM card was around the wrong way. It was my fault. I fitted it around reverse. So don't forget to always fit the SIM card in correctly, otherwise you will have a problem. But you can see there, it's connected to the network now. My dial parameters I filled in, and I actually did find the correct mobile number related to that SIM card. Dial plan, allow list, and auxiliary function. So I've done everything I need to do on here. And under the auxiliary function, I get the IMEI number now. So very, very simple to do. I've actually gone and added it to the HiConnect app just to prove it works. So on my HiConnect app, added the serial number, typed the serial number in, and it connected straight away. But I will transfer you over to show you that working very shortly. Now under the event, I'm going to enable a smart event. So we'll go to line crossing just to show this working. Enable line crossing, and we're going to put a detection area, and we'll put it across here. So if anyone goes across there, 50%, maximum size, that, minimum size, that. Click save. Again, you can have up to 4 lines, line crossing, etc. Arming schedule 24/7. Linkage method, make sure it's notify surveillance center minimum. Again, there is the email function, etc. So now when anyone crosses this line, I should get the notification to the app of this event via the 4G connection. I can assure you it is connected, but I will transfer you to show you that shortly. So that's all I need to show you on the setup on there. You can see battery is 38%. You can see the setup. Very, very simple to set up once you put the SIM card in the right way. And again, we can help assist on any of this setup. Very basic configuration and setup past that. One thing I will do is sync the time with the computer. I just noticed the time was wrong. Past that, go to live view. And you can see the camera. So 38%, and that's the live view. 2 megapixel image, fixed lens, 2.8mm. Again, I put the OSD in there ready. So now, whenever anyone comes across here, I'll get the notification to the app. So we're ready to go. So stay tuned and I'll transfer you over. Okay, so the camera is now fitted. You can see what I've done in the IMS 4200. Again, you can use it to Hike Central using the iSUP connection. There will be more development of this to follow, but right now it's Hike Connect or Hike Central. So all I've done is go up to the top right hand corner, logged into my Hike Connect account where I added the device to, and you can see if I just expand these here, you can already see the DVS Solar 4G unit. So it's online, I can edit it. Couple of things to note: if I go to remote configuration, that will fail. The SIM card I'm using, which is a data SIM card, has no functionality for this port forward allowance. So I can receive data from it, but I'm not allowed to go back into the unit through this SIM card. Now, if that's something that you really need, then again, we're going to have to choose that SIM card very carefully, because if you need to make any adjustments and you've left site and you don't want to go back to site, then you'd probably need to use a SIM card like a CSL wireless logic type scenario where that SIM card exists in a private VPN. So you can still get the Hike Connect functionality, but then you can connect to it using the private VPN, then use a remote configuration, adjust the setup, and then disconnect from it. So depending on how you want to use and deploy this, choose your SIM card carefully. This is in my car park. I'm not going to go pay for the additional functionality of having, a private SIM in a pool. So we're just using a generic data SIM that's linked to our network, our pool of SIM cards, and allows me then to still use and function with the camera. So if I go to main view, you can see on the left hand side, I can double click and I can get the live view from the camera. You can see there the camera is currently sitting at 44%, and that will keep charging, and hopefully when the weather stays reasonably nice like this, you will see that will go up and give us that full battery capacity. Okay, so I have linked this to our account, the Hike Connect account, so I'm going to transfer you over to the phone to show you that. You can see live view from 4200 is absolutely fine. The more you view this, one, your data charge will go up, and two, the battery will decrease quicker. The longer this is online and you're viewing this and pulling this back across the data SIM, this will then, have a detrimental effect on the battery life, because it's not meant to be deployed and continually used in this type of scenario, say in a control room where you're continually viewing it. The battery won't last, especially for 7 days. You're lucky to get a couple of days out of it if you do that, plus the ongoing data charge. So I'm going to disconnect that, and we're going to close 4200 down. I'm going to do a screen share, and we are going to look at the Hike Connect and what that does, and I can show you the alarms. If you remember, I set up the line crossing. That's working, and it's sending notifications through to my phone. So I'll just transfer you over quickly, and we can see that in action. Okay, so there's the Hike Connect app. If I show you quickly the text message view. So remember, when I was web browsing to the camera, I input my mobile number as the SMS text message notification center. You can see any of the notifications I enabled, and by default it's all of them. They come through as an SMS text message if your SIM card supports that. So anytime there's a line crossing, you can see their line crossing and the time that occurred, so you have a reference at least. So your end user could get this, and then you get the reference, and then you could have the offline notifications, etc. It also tells you if you set up the data limit, it tells you that has been reached or very close to it. So again, a nice little function. Now if I go to the Hike Connect app, you can see I've added my DVS Solar 4G unit here. It's got a snapshot because I've already viewed it. Now if I click on that to view it, now it's woken the device up, and you can see there battery is 44%, time and date, and you can see I'm in standard mode there. If I change it to HD mode, it'll reload that in the 2 megapixel image. Now one thing to note is, I'm going to put that back to standard again, if you haven't used this in a long time, or it's in low power consumption mode, when you go and open the app, so when you open the app there and go to view it, you can see that message. It says there, waking up camera up to 30 seconds. So you can actually, or it will actually take around 30 seconds for this to wake up and then bring you an image through. And obviously that will also reflect in your data, how good your signal is on the site where this is deployed. So just be mindful, if you do get that error message and it can take up to 30 seconds to get the live view and connect, that's because of the the power saving that we're doing to increase the battery life. But as it happens, it wasn't in low power mode, so it connected quite quickly and quite nicely. So again, very, very simple. If I go to, I can take snapshots, etc. So at the bottom, I've got the snapshot and record image, etc. I can go along and pause, etc. If I go back, if I go into the settings, so this spanner shaped icon here, waking up the device again. So again, power consumption mode, switch mode if required. So I can change it to low consumption real-time mode. So selecting that, it will then reboot into the extra mode. So I'm not going to do that. Signal is strong. Linked camera, I've already got the camera I wanted linked to it, which is the one, the solar, the solar camera, the camera that comes with the solar panel. Time zone, time format, authorization service. This is linked to my Hike Pro Connect account, so it's got the authorization service. Notification is enabled, but I can disable that or put it onto a schedule, because these are the notifications that come through from the camera, from the VCA or Motion if you're using them, but the end user can disable them if he's getting bothered by them or needs to turn them off. Storage status, 2 memory cards, both normal. Device version, change verification code, configure DDNS. So again, our SIM card won't allow for that DDNS because we haven't got any port forwarding allowed on our current SIM card setup. Again, so pretty straightforward. Under notifications, so if I go to notifications on the bottom, you will see there, let me go to the solar panel, so line crossing detection, DVS Solar 4G. So select that. You can see that's the notification, what time it came through and where it came from. So I can click on live view or I can click on playback. And again, it would normally work, but because I'm doing a screen share, for some reason it hasn't worked. But trust me, that does normally work. What you need to be cautious of, the more you do live view and playback, and especially downloading the footage from the unit, again, that can affect not only your data charge, but the battery life of the unit. No, it's not going to do it. I will go and find that. It does work, I promise you. When I'm doing a screen share with the data, it's like a hotspot to this PC, so lots of functions don't seem to work in this. But again, very, very simple, very, very easy to interact with, very simple and easy to deploy. Like I said, it probably took us 20 minutes to bolt it together, fit it to the lamppost. Again, charge it up before you deploy it, so that'll give you enough battery charge to commission it and then walk away. And then as the time goes past, face it south, get the maximum exposure you can, and make sure your angle on the solar panel is right to get the most efficient charge out of whatever solar charge is available where your location is. If you're not watching this in the UK, different locations have different solar output, or more effective at solar. So you can go online and Google like solar effectiveness, and it'll bring you up a load of maps where you can point where you are, and it'll tell you the solar effectiveness, as well as solar tracking maps, so you know where the sun is to angle the panel. So lots and lots of information out there. Again, line crossing, intrusion, motion, all supported. It doesn't come with a SIM card, so you need to supply that yourself. The battery needs to be ordered separately, but needs to be supplied at the same time. Without the battery, this isn't going to work. And again, hopefully we're going to find a way to hopefully have a trickle charger so you can fully charge the battery before you deploy it. That's the next step for us, is trying to get that little piece there. But again, you can buy batteries independently if you want to have more than one battery to take with you or keep with you and deploy as required. Okay, just a quick update. If I go to playback, not only do I have live view, I've now got playback. There was an issue with one, I'd set the SD card up incorrectly. I put it to motion record, not event record. Silly me, and it's not, motion is disabled. It's now on constant record. The SIM provider had to take a small block off to allow a different access. So if I go to playback, select the solar panel, click start playback, you can see now it loads it from 3 minutes past 4 from when we sorted the issue out with playback on the SIM card and on the SD card. So now it's all done. So event playback would also work. If you had events to playback, they'd also come through on there like that. Okay, all done. So stay safe, stay tuned, stay subscribed. See you next week for another how-to video.